Hi, it's Brenda Sue, and today we're going to talk about making slave bracelets. Now, if you don't know what a slave bracelet is, they probably go back to ancient times, really. I should have Googled it. Then I could have told you, but you could Google it and tell me. But I remember them from like the late 60s, early 70s, when we would kind of term them today hippie chick jewelry. And they're basically something that goes around your wrist with a center pad for ornamentation and then a loop that goes around your finger, or maybe a chain that attaches to a ring blank. Simple stuff. Normally you don't need maybe a foot of chain to do them, maybe a little bit more dependent on the style that you want to make. You need an ornament, you need some jump rings, you need a lobster claw clasp or whatever clasp you like to use. You need a flush cutters, flat nose pliers, and a round nose pliers, and you're good to go. I also like my jumpy tool, which I always have present. If you don't have one of these yet, I really should do a video just to demonstrate how to use a jumpy tool. Some people struggle with these. Once they get onto it, they don't know how they live without them. But getting back to the slave bracelet, this is one that I made just a few hours ago. And it has pearl link chain, which we have at our website. There's about a foot total in this. My lobster claw clasp, there's about 6 jump rings in this. I have Russian gold plated filigree backed with a bamboo bezel, which I clipped the pendant top off of so that it would hide the glue that might have seeped through from applying the water lily peony. We carry all these parts on the website. You're going to need about a 50 millimeter filigree if you want to use this peony finding. If you're using something else, it could vary. You'll work that out. I know you will. I'm going to take this off now so you can see it a little bit more closely. Let's see how good I do. Sometimes it's hard getting things on and off. Okay. You can see how simple it is. And there's the backing. I didn't have a Russian gold plated one, so that would have been good if it had been Russian gold plated, but it's close enough, so I don't mind mixing metals. These days, there's no rules really. You could do a felt pad or a moleskin pad here, but of course it's going to come in contact with your hand. Your hand's going to sweat. Maybe not the best idea over time. You know, it might get kind of nasty, but it is one option that you could do. I like the brass blank. And then all I did was just attach a little loop here, about 8 beads worth. And then on each side here it's about 2 3/4 inches of pearl bead link chain. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 beads. And I can't remember if these are 6 millimeter or 8. They might be 8. Very little to it. You can make this in 10 to 15 minutes. So come on over here and I'm going to show you how you can do it and some other examples of some that I have done today. Okay? So again, getting back to the concept of the slave bracelet, it's simply a loop around the finger and then the chain that goes up around an ornament in the center, basically. Or you could bring a piece of chain down from here to a ring shank and put another ornament on your ring shank. I don't have one made here like that, but I have made some. And if you would like to join us at the Bisou Boutiques Creative Group at Facebook, some are already starting to post their slave bracelets for the challenge this month, and some have done them with ring shanks, so you might enjoy doing this. You know, another thing too, you could probably adapt this whole idea for your foot and make it a toe ring with it too. Though I haven't tried it, I don't see why you couldn't. It would just be some measuring. The principle would basically be the same. Okay, so I'm going to show you some that I made. I took an engraved large heart. It's a Sentimental Me, and I attached it with a little bit of this funky chain that I have here in the workshop. I don't have this chain on the site yet, but I will one day soon. And then a little bit of brass ox Rollo, which we do have on the website, and then a vintage pearl here. And then this is simply one of these bezel blank bracelets, which we're actually out of stock currently on this style. But I do have the ones that are made like this with the 7 links. And the SKU for that is CHN 04836 Brox. I'll put that in the text for the video blurb, so you'll be able to see that. This one will work too just as well. I haven't finished this. This is just skeletal. But this one is finished. And I'm going to try and put it on. It's basically, I just thread that through over my finger. Okay. And then this one's really easy to put on because this type of clasp is really easy to deal with. Just put that through, and there I go. That's kind of showy, isn't it? And these, of course, are old earrings. Everybody's doing this these days. This is nothing new. This is responsible repurposing. These earrings were messed up, and they're the grandma style that most people don't buy and isn't very valuable. And this was a single earring with the back off already. So, but they are all vintage 50s, 60s. This is 50s. This is casein. I think you say casein. C-A-S-E-I-N, and it's actually a form of plastic that is milk based. Believe it or not. You can read more about it in vintage books, but this is how I made this one on form CHN 04836 Brox. Glued in with E6000, attached with a bit of chain, like hardly even an inch, just like one link, a few jumps, the big heart. This is in the brass ox section, and also it's in the hearts that you can paint on section. If you want to learn to engrave, there is a video previous to this about signing your work with a Dremel that you can access. If you go back a little bit on my channel, you'll find it. And then the loop, and that's that. Easy on, easy off, simple as pie. And you know what? It's really comfortable to wear. Really, really comfortable. So I made that today too. Took like 15 minutes because I had this part done already. Then I made this one out of book chain, and I'm not really done with this yet, but this is how far it's gotten. I have the loop for my finger. We do have this book chain on the site. It's very, very popular. It's a little spendy, but it's popular, very popular, because it's really, really easy for you to make very, very cool. Now let's see, can she do it? Can she do it? Do, 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 do. Yep, she did. Okay. It's really cool to make charm bracelets. You need about 6 inches of this, and then maybe about 2.5, 3 of this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I put a few extras because I had extended jump rings, a lobster clasp, and this is a 40 by 30 cameo with the hummingbird. We have these on the site, and a little silverware silver plated rose, which we have on the site also. And this took no time at all. I just had to glue this in and let it set up. And it's actually kind of comfortable. It looks a little bit crazy around my finger, though. I might work on that a little bit more. But it's actually pretty comfortable. And what I might want to do is go back and hang, you know, charms from this. And then it'd really be spiffy, wouldn't it? So maybe I could go back and maybe put a finer chain or something around here. That's called designing out loud. I'm designing out loud as I go. And sometimes that's some of the best designing you can do, is just kind of as you go along. Now let's see, can she undo it? Yep, she can. Alright, so there's that one. Then there's this one I'm working on. As you can see, I've got clamps on it because I used glue, but I think it's been on long enough that I can take them off and you can see what's going on. A little bit of glue sticking to it. This is Russian gold plate. Now this is a really good example of what filigree looks like before you have a backer on it if you've used glue. See how that seeped all through? So I'm going to have to get a blank and cover this whole thing. Okay. But I bent this with my bracelet benders, which I carry on the site. Yeah, still can move it around a little bit. It's definitely not ready to be finished. But when it's ready to be finished and it's glued down really well, then I will probably bend these back a little bit more, add another little length of chain and a lobster and finish it. But just to show you kind of what it's going to look like. I measured down, let's see, 4 pearls on the pearl rosary chain that we carry, which is like, again, it's $1 a foot. You're not even going to need hardly half a foot to do this. Putting this on. Okay, so I'm going to loop that on, and so you can kind of see what this is going to look like. Now, you can tell I'm going to have to bend this down a little bit more, add a little bit more chain, and put my lobster on. I like to put my chain going around one piece, not two. One piece over to the side. I like it on the outer, what do you call that, part of your wrist. And then I'll probably hang a couple little pearls hanging this way. It'll be real delicate and pretty, so that'll be good. All right, so that's how that one goes. All right, now let's deconstruct one of these so that you can see really how it is. And I'll probably have to put these clamps back on this again later so it stays. This one would be a good one to deconstruct. I put this one together so you could see bare bones, kind of how one looks now. This one comes down a little bit low on the wrist, but I kind of like it. Now, if you don't, then you just measure differently. Really, all it comes to is measuring. I'm going to have trouble getting this on. Let's see. Maybe not. Maybe not. Ah, I got it. I got it. Come on. So I want to show you. This thing's fighting me. There we go. Okay. So this is a little long. Someone with a longer hand, though, would be great. There's a girl in our group, Robin from Lulu's Box, made one of these with one of our Uki, the octopus stampings, and she made chains hanging through all of his tentacles going across. It was so cool. It was one of the coolest slave bracelets I've ever seen. So hey, Robin, if you're watching this, I hope you post that picture on our group again because it was so amazing. But this is an Art Nouveau transitional filigree that we have carried for many years at Peasy Boutiques, and I have just used it for the centerpiece. And what you could do is you could glue to this something, and then of course, because it has a lot of openings, you're going to have to do a blank on the back, or felt or moleskin, or whatever you feel is right. Or you could wire through it, or you could leave it alone, and you could hang like pearls from here, and pearls from here, and pearls all the way here. In fact, maybe I'll show you that after I deconstruct it and put it back together, because I want you to see measurement wise and all that. So now the trick is, can she get it off? And Rob can't help me because he's got the camera. There we go. I'm good. Okay, so we're going to measure how much chain you need to make it look like this on a hand like mine. Now, I don't have small hands. I have short hands. My hands are medium large size. Okay, so that gives you a little bit of a point of reference too. My hands are short, but they're not small. Okay, so you need about 3 inches of the 4-inch Rolo chain from our site for each side here. So about 6 inches total there. And then for this piece, I'm going to actually take it off. So what happened to my jumpy tool here is I can't live without this. I need to do a video just to show you how these work, because some people struggle with them. Well, I'll show you a little bit here. We'll do a little bit together since I've got to use it anyhow, right? Of course. Okay. So what you do is you seize your jump ring, stick it in the wide slot, because these are heavier jumps, and twist this way. And you'll just remove it. Okay? I'll do that again for you using the jumpy tool. Okay, stick it in the slot, twist. Okay, so this is off now, and I can measure it. So how much do I need for this? Again, it's just shy of 3 inches. Okay, so basically for about 9 inches worth of this chain, a stamping, a few jump rings, and a brass ox clasp of some kind, which I used a lobster. I like them. They're easier to deal with. You have it. You got it. And then all you have to do is figure out what you want to put on it. Do you want to put a bezel on it? You could maybe find a way to rivet a bezel on that with a fat rivet. You have to get something that would, you know, form a rivet on the back of that, or some glue. If you're good at spot soldering, maybe that'd work, although you have to be careful on plated materials. Simple stuff. So I'm going to put that back on so you can see how that goes. Okay, right here I'm going to start here at this loop here, but you could go closer if you wanted, but I'm going to start here because it fits me better that way. Like I say, making these has a lot to do with your hand measurement. So like if you want to make these for shows, you know, you might want to take some extra chain and some pliers and things like that along with you to the show, because you may have to do some adjustments for your customers. Or if you're doing a custom one, you got to get some measurements, okay? Or if you're going to make them for your shop, you want to make them maybe a few different sizes, or at least in a way that it will be easy for you to make an adjustment. But that's pretty much all there is to it if you want to do it this way. If you want to do it this way, then you can use one of the 7 bezel These are 13 millimeter. Say that right, millimeter. Bezel link bracelet, which I told you the number for a little bit earlier. Just a tiny link of chain here to this big heart, which we have on the site. And again, the little loop of about 2.5, 3 inches. Put it on, you're good to go. I'll put this, now this one's not finished by any means because I have to embellish it. But just to show you how this is going to go, I'm going to put it on. So this one might actually need a little bit of adjustment in the ring part because this wants to hang down too far. Maybe here, maybe I should put a smaller jump to accommodate these. Or if someone had a longer hand than I did, not such a short hand, it'd probably fit them just absolutely perfect. But for me, if I'm going to wear this, something has to get tightened. Okay, that's you could tighten it up here too if you want to make your adjustment. You could actually do it on the wrist too, but this now feels a little bit too snug. And that's the thing, you have to be careful. You don't want to get it too short through here because they might be able to get it on, but they won't be able to flex their hand. And that won't be any good. So anyway, I hope that I have given you some really good ideas for how you can do this in an easy way. And again, I would love to warmly invite you to join us at the Peasy Boutiques Creative Group, please. It's at Facebook. Just friend me if you want, Brenda Sue Lansdowne. I don't know why this is being cantankerous. Oh, I just got it twisted, that's all. Or just put your name in the box, and when I see you, you know, we don't have to be Facebook friends. If you like to limit your friends on Facebook, just put your name in the box and I'll click you in. You can try it out. If it doesn't work for you, you can leave. But I almost guarantee you won't leave because hardly anyone ever does. They like it there. It's a fun place of a lot of learning, a lot of new techniques. We talk about all kinds of jewelry making, but this month we're doing slave bracelets. Now, which one's your favorite? Well, come in the group and tell me. I don't know. I kind of like the first one. But I like this one too. And I like this one. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, you try it out. Share yours with us at the group. And I hope you have a great time. And again, if you need parts, we can set you up at peasyboutiques.com.